Namaste, Jai Bharat. The problem with Pakistan is that they continue wanting to think that they are somewhere something equal to Bharat. They know that they can never be equal to Bharat. They are not equal to Bharat, but they want to think. So as a result, they will start doing whatever Bharat does as a copy. There are many incidents you can find out how they desperately repeat the actions of Bharat as a copy. Many cases that are in front of you. I need not to go into narratives. Now, of late, see, with the Pahalgam terror attack, Bharat sent delegations to some countries, which is some of the opposition parties' delegations. They went around trying to explain to the world around that how these things took place and what kind of terror activities they do and what kind of terror actions are happening and how Pakistan is a terrorist hub and to what extent the Pakistani army has a terror core as a wing of their army. Now, immediately after that, or at the same time, Pakistan also sent delegations, not to the many different groups. They sent one delegation with this Bilawal Sardari Benazir Bhutto, who was formerly a foreign affairs minister in Pakistan. They sent him with some other people. They went sent a delegation, and they went to the US primarily and trying to meet the people concerned, senators, etc., etc., etc. They went around. So another difficulty with Pakistan is that they keep lying. They speak lies with conviction. That's something very special. Lying with conviction is a special attribute of Pakistanis. They lie with convictions, as though they're sure that what they speak is not untruth. They're sure that what they speak is just truth. So that's lying with conviction. They're convinced that these things are true, wrongly convinced, which through a self-imposed deception for various reasons, which is consciously many times, and then which subsequently becomes inadvertent self-deception. So they are talking lies, will be speaking lies with utter convictions. That's what they do, and they're they're very used to such kind of lies. You look at the state, nation, the rulers, the army, or the whatever kinds of authority was there in Pakistan. There are several authorities, primarily four, as I see. One is army, who actually is, who are everything, and then the democratically made to elect government, which of course is a subaltern kind of government to the army, and then the Maulavi brand, who are just next to a god, and whatever they speak is supposed to be on behalf of God, something like the medieval Europe. And then the terrorists. The terrorists are really dynamic kind of people in Pakistan. They provide them funds, whosoever, and they keep getting funds from all good-minded people across the world who would like terrorism to be promoted. And there are many like that, many nations like that, many agencies like that. Many nations have definite funds for jihads and terrorism. So from there, who else is doing terrorism other than Pakistan? So Pakistan has got international factory of terrorism within them. So they keep getting funds, and these funds, of course, are convenient to the army and others, of course, as a routine. So they tell lies. Now, Bilawal represents all these people, and they went around and they started speaking lies, as usual. Now, apparently, as Bilawal's version is that our agencies, part of the agencies, anticipated what all things they are likely to spread and created dossiers providing the actuality, reality, and truth to the people concerned. Maybe media people, maybe senators, maybe whosoever it is, who are likely to interact with Bilawal. And by the time Bilawal came out with lies, magnificent lies in color, the people sitting in front were already given a different kind of briefing. Not that they get convinced by what others, people get, what some of our people must have given what the dossier. They're not convinced, not that they're convinced, but they found the logic in that. So they asked questions, and these questions made the Pakistani delegation, Bilaval's delegation, spellbound. They were unable to answer. They were just stuck. They were unable to answer. One instance is that I think it is this Hafiz Said or someone who was directly involved in terrorist activities, and his photos, things were provided by Bharat when our delegations went, and Bilawal brings a photo and says that this is not that site. I think the person is this. This is not that terrorist. He is an innocent man who is living somewhere else. So whatever Bharat does gives us spurious story. There's no one like that. The picture which they gave is that of someone else. Now, Europeans sitting in US have no idea in which pind or which pindi who is born. So, but before that itself, the person we have given proofs to the people concerned that they are the same. He is the same person. Date of birth, other credentials, name, all these things were supplied, and some people in the house, journalist or whosoever, asked this question to Bilawal. The entire team had to go stone silent. They have nothing else to speak. So that immediately proving themselves to be very seriously lying. They themselves proved that they had been lying, self-stultifying their effort, etc. Now, another funny thing, this of course is inadvertent mistake of Bilawal, who said that we should not talk to Bharat. Bharat should talk to them. That's the main demand. And we have already made it clear that you can't talk. There's no point in talking to you except on terrorism and Kashmir, which you have illegally occupied. Because there's no point in talking to you for one reason, that no one will own up what you have said. You would come and say something as representing someone, and then you go back and then somebody else will come and say, we don't care. We don't care what he said. He said, so I'm not responsible. So this kind of things goes on in Pakistan. There's structure, no discipline, and nothing. So this Bilawal is telling, actually it's not Pakistani people and people of Bharat that who should be talking. It should be the ISI, their intelligence, and Bharat's intelligence. He specifies RAW, Research Analysis Wing, RAW. They should be talking. Look at the narrative or expression or someone who is supposed to be representing a nation, making such irresponsible statement, which directly suggests or proving that they have no control over things. It is their intelligence, and intelligence is a part of their army. R&W is different. It's not a part of army. We have a different structure. So the former ISI chief is the present decorated field marshal, who is the former chief of army of Pakistan, this Munir person. So the army is intelligent. Bharat is not the case. This is a separate, distinct kind of organization structure. So look at him. He is explicitly saying that we have no control over things, and our things are determined by the intelligence, inter-service intelligence, which means our things are controlled by the army. The army is a different institution, which has a different purpose, which has a different job, not diplomacy. The job is not diplomacy. So the army will do very impulsive things without anticipating the possible results. That's precisely what they have done in Pahalgam. Thoughtlessly they would do things, thoughtlessly they speak things, thoughtlessly they act. When repercussions reach them, they are unable to take. Then they will start running. Precisely this is what happened with the army of Pakistan, because they're thoughtless. They're not trained to be speculative. They're not trained to be diplomats. They're not trained in diplomacy. They're trained in warfare, battles. So they think in one direction, and they find shortcuts to things, and they don't anticipate. They don't speculate into the dialectics of what would happen if you do this. That kind of things, and army is never trained. They are trained in entirely different things. That's supposed to be at least army training. And then the army man becomes diplomat. He makes all mess of things. Similar happens to a trader who goes into diplomacy. He could also make a mess of things like how Trump does. He his problem is that he's not trained in that kind of things, or he must have been trained, but then now at least his trader ethics order overwhelms him, so he speaks different things. This is precisely, look at, he's telling the ISI should talk to Rome. That's a solution. What kind of a person he is. And through all these stories, they have destroyed their own arguments, their own grounds, stultified themselves, and of course went back in utter shame. Unfortunately for them, whatever steps they have taken, bounced back on them. So look at this Pakistani pathos. They're pathetically, miserably unable to explain themselves, express themselves. Nonetheless, they'll keep getting support so long as they become the US obediently to whosoever is their big bosses, including US. US, of course, he doesn't love anyone. They want US obediently, and of course, Pakistan is ever US obedient to US in capital letters. They'll continue getting money. They get support, they get money. It's in front of you. They get support, they get money. Everyone knows where they will use money, where they will get support. Everyone knows, but they'll keep getting it. And look at the Noor Khan story. We never knew that Noor Khan stockpile is something that US has kept there for their own use. And this Pakis were boasting that we are a nuclear nation, but they have never made a nuclear bomb in their entire life, and they're incapable of making a nuclear bomb. Think about different things. They are unable to make a needle. They don't even make motorcycle engines. They can't make all these things. And do you think they'll make a nuclear weapons? Just logically impossible. Someone has gifted them, and the reason they are unable to maintain the gift because they're not even trained that. They're not even trained in that. So this is the kind of things that happens in Pakistan. They go around copying whatever happens in Bharat in their own way, and the copy is always a mess of a semblance of a mistake. We shall meet again. Namaste. Jai Bharat, Jai Shri Ram.